The Lord. Let me set my coffee cup down. Breakfast with the Bishop. God bless you. Going to go right into the word of the Lord today. A person called in and asked me, said, Bishop, would you go over the 23rd Psalm? I said, well, yeah, I can. Said, could you give us a little bit of insight into it as to why David wrote it and what he did? I said, yeah, I'll do some of that. So I want to jump right into the word. Let me say, God bless you. I love you. Remember us in prayer. Remember us in Canada. All that stuff that we've talked about. Hey, you guys are the greatest out there. Okay, you that called in, here it is. All the rest of you, hope it blesses you. Psalms 23, verse 1. Now the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I like to think of the shepherd as being my pastor, my minister, my high priest, not necessarily Catholic, but a ministry. Someone I look to that can keep me from a storm and can take his staff and move me in the rod and comfort me. Someone that has a strong staff or stick against the wolves or whatever, and can lead me into a place of shelter and security when the snow or the hail or the cold winds blow. That's what a shepherd is to me. He's my person. Jesus Christ is my shepherd. He's my great high shepherd. He's my great high priest. Hebrews says we have such a great high priest who's after the order of Melchizedek. I'm not into that right now. There's no time. And he says, I shall not want. How many know if you've got a true shepherd, the true shepherd of Israel, which is Jesus Christ, and I don't want any other. I don't want another. I don't need another. I don't have another. I'm content with my shepherd. What did he say in I believe it is in Matthew and also in John? He said, my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they will not follow. So here, if the Lord is your shepherd, you know his voice. How many know him deep in their heart when God deals with them? You have some way of knowing. I know that God told me to do this. I know God said this. I feel so strongly in my heart to do this. Hey, the shepherd is calling the sheep. Let me go to verse 2. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. Now notice, green pastures is a place of abundance. The Lord always gives us a place, and he makes us go there. Listen, I don't care how poverty-ridden you are. I don't care how sick or downtrodden you are. I don't care how full of hate or nasty or evil you are. If he becomes your shepherd, he begins to make you lie down in a green pasture. Now that jar didn't wind up here on its own. The jar was sitting here. It's my coffee. And always save. So I'm going to save it. That jar was grabbed and made to move, notice that, into a more secure place. Now, this wind and this storm that knocks down the creamer and tears everything up here did not knock off the jar, did not break the jar. The jar was in a special place, a green pasture. I want to, you that are hurting today, just call on the Savior. Shepherd of Israel, help me to get to that green pasture. Take me, make me, break me, mold me, shape me, whatever you need to do to put me in that place of abundance, place of safety, place of peace, a place of joy. Whoa! I could get Pentecostal with you, could charismatic with you. Put me in a good place. And he leads me beside the still waters. How many know still waters are deep waters? They run deep. If you get the rapids and stuff, you beautiful freshwater streams and Coors beers brewed there, and you get Barren Fork River, wonderful, Illinois River, wonderful. All these things are good. But when you get on Lake Tenkiller or Eufaula or Fort Gibson or any of the lake, wherever you would live, you get on the lake, man-made or natural, there's some deep water out there. Over your head, swimming water, boating water. You can't float much of a boat down the Barren Fork River, a small canoe maybe, but you can put on Lake Tenkiller here where I live, close to us, down around the cities of Gore and Weber's Falls, Salisaw, you can float a battleship on that. You can't sail it very far, but you can float it, and you can actually sail it around a little bit and even make a turn if you know how to do it. And that's a big, big body of water. You may know that's where he wants to place us. He wants to place us in a position that is so deep, so great, so wide, so wonderful, you can't imagine the blessings. When you get placed in a place of love, agape love, the love of God, that love just starts flowing out. I take a little baby and I hold him. I don't say much. I just look at him. And it's such a flooding of my spirit and soul with love. But this is life. That somebody made this life. My firstborn son. I loved him from the minute his eyes opened. I shall love him till the day I close mine. But when he was held and put in my arms, there wasn't a creed song to explain it then, but I heard the news today. My life was going to change. Still in all, we created a life, and with arms wide open, I'll show you everything under the heaven. God made you. I made you. Oh, let me share with you. And it's so good. The Father does that with us. He makes us go into green pastures so He can bless us. Leads us beside still waters so that we get the very best of everything He has. I'm going very fast. Verse 3. He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. Listen, I don't care what you've done today. I don't care what you've done in the past. I don't care what you've thought, what you've said. And many of you, I as a minister, you come and talk with me around the country. Recently, down in the Ohio, Kentucky area, we were there for some time, and one person came up and said, well, I know I've just gone too far away from God. He can't do anything for me now, and I'm just doomed. And I said, who told you that? Well, that's just you can just serve the devil and God just forgets about you. Who told you that? Well, I just know there's a line that's drawn in the sand. When you go over that line, you're lost eternally. I said, but who told you that? Where does the Bible say that? And I was really trying to bring them into a greener place, and I actually had to grab them out of that mess of negative thinking, place them over here in a special place in God, and said, look, all He wants to do is restore your soul. I said, you know how to do that? Well, no, I don't know nothing about it. I said, you just begin by repenting. Lord, I'm sorry for my part. I don't care what it was. Pretty nasty, Lord, and I did pretty bad things. And I'm sorry. And the Lord says, hey, I forgive you. Your heart's right. You really mean it. And I forgive you. I'm going to restore you. Now, let me balance it. Restoration doesn't come all at once. You're a dead dog poor. The next minute you got a Publishers Clearinghouse at the door. That may happen to one of us. I don't know. May happen to someone. I don't know. Doesn't happen to everyone. One day you're sitting there broke. Your car don't run. You got nothing to eat. Next day someone's dumped $1 million at your door or blessed you with something. Praise the Lord for all that. But overall, you're just a guy, just a girl, just sitting here having coffee with me today. We're drinking a cup, eating an egg, and hopefully when you can't watch me, I'm going to have a little cheesecake. Ain't supposed to, but I've lost 25 pounds and I'm celebrating. Anyway, He restores our soul. He brings us into this big, deep, dark, deep, wonderful place. He leads us into that. He gives us some makes us green pastures, gives us things, and all of a sudden, He begins on a daily basis to put us together. I want you to reach in there and get something from Him today. Let Him restore your soul. Tell Him you're sorry. He automatically begins to lift you up and takes care of you. Listen, He said, He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness. There's more than one way to be righteous. Righteousness isn't going to church and giving money. Righteousness isn't becoming some goody two-shoes Christian. Now hear me in a balance. I believe in being righteous, and I believe in going to church, and I'm a Christian. But just to do all that and still have some hidden things in your heart, that's not it. The paths of righteousness are the places God takes you where all of the negative stuff is cleaned out. Sometimes I've got to go to my neighbor and say, hey, I'm sorry. Let's start over. I kind of got off on the wrong foot. Even though they did, I allowed it, and so I have to say I'm sorry. Sometimes I have to relook at the checkbook and say, look, I'm buying things that I don't need. I'm just buying things I want, and the bills are not paid. Those are the things I need to do. See, being righteous is not just saying, Lord, I'm sorry for my sins. Now I'm a Christian. Now I'm going to church. I'm going to heaven. Well, that's the initial part. But being righteous is living every day in the right useness of what the Lord has for us. Living every day in a place that's pleasing unto God. Living every day that tries its best, that person tries their best to get along with man and everything that man is doing. Leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Now his name is his nature, character, image, and his likeness. Verse 4. Yes, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll fear no evil, for you're with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. Listen, some of us are walking right through the valley of the shadow of death. First of all, let me say this to you. A shadow can't hurt you. The real deal can get you, but the shadow can't hurt you. Now, if your soul is being restored, you're being blessed, you got a shepherd. See, those things now have become shadows, just shadows, and they cannot hurt you. Shadow boxing, see, really knocking you out. I got my brother-in-law, he's my cameraman and producer, and I'm just here wailing away on him, boy, knocking him out. And I'm fixing to knock him out. No, he's knocked me out. My time has come and gone. He just delivered a knockout punch. Shadow, just a shadow. I didn't get him. Doggone. Should have got it. Don't let the devil get you. God bless you. This is Bishop Gary. Till next time. Bye-bye.